Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome back to The Kid Gaming. Hope you're good, hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe in the strange and interesting times we live in. And a massive hello to Battlefield 6, the open beta to be precise. We've just had the last weekend, and we've got the second one coming up very, very shortly, this Thursday, in fact, which will be, I believe, the 14th. And I think it'll be starting at 9 a.m. again. Ready for us to all have another go. Now, yes, there are a huge amount of content creators out there right now who have basically created so many different guides and reviews and looks. Some of them professional gamers, and some of them have the ability to play the game all of the time. Now, any viewers of regular viewers, I should say, of Kid Gaming know that I like to keep things very informal, kind of not very scripted, really, just to give pointers. And I really wanted to have a look at this as a very much a casual gamer, because I do work full time. Obviously, the content creators don't work full time. I have to make money in a different way. So consequently, I don't really have a lot of time to play games, but I try and get on as much as possible. So I really wanted to give you the insights of what the game is. If you're new to the Battlefield franchise, I've been playing it since pretty much Battlefield 1942. I was going to say 1942 then, but I'm not that old. So really kind of wanted to show you what the game is and why I love it so much, and why this game in particular could be pretty much the best Battlefield game that we've ever had. So, congratulations, you've just clicked the right video for you if you are very much in the casual corner, or maybe you're used to other shooters. COD. I want to give you my impressions, from a time's perspective. What do I mean by that? Well, basically exactly what it sounds. What if you have a few or maybe 1 hour to sit and play Battlefield 6 when it comes out? Will it give you that same adrenaline burst that, let's say, some other shooters may have given you? Well, let's find out. But before we begin, I just want to be open and state that this is in no way endorsed or sponsored by EA. I kind of wish it was, but hey, not quite there just yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you would be so kind. It really helps me and helps the channel, as it does for many others, but equally fine if you're just passing on through and just fancied watching this. I really don't mind. Great if you could leave a comment though, really lovely. Either way, let's get on with it. So, what is a beta? Or more specifically, what is an open beta? So a beta is basically, it's a demo. It's what we used to get on those little discs that we used to get on the front of the magazines. Do you remember those? If you don't remember those, we used to get demos every so often. You could download it, have a quick game. It was a very limited version of the game itself. What they've now turned that into is some of the bigger corporations have decided that, you know what, let's get some testing out there. Let's get people's perspective on it. And they've kind of turned it into, it's a demo, but also we kind of want to get some feedback on how the game's feeling, even though it's not very long for it to actually release. It's a demo, let's put it that way. But in this particular case, we have been involved from a very early kind of area. So the history of Battlefield for the past couple of games hasn't been that great. I must admit the games were not in a good state, and they've not been giving very good feedback. The last game in particular started out in a very, very poor state indeed. So this time it's been a complete change of management, and they've decided to go a different way. Now, I've been involved since what's called an alpha. An alpha is an earlier stage of the game. It was given to us, and I'm allowed to say this now, but it was given to us, and we could sign up for it, and we got invited to partake. So I've been playing this, I think it was May that I started playing this. It was a very rough state, nowhere near as what it is currently at the moment, but the gameplay was there, and it's to get an idea and feel and feedback of how the guns feel and all that kind of stuff. The beta is just that next evolution, it's that next step. We're very close to release now, which is October the 10th, and they just want to get that quick feedback about the menus, the game in general, any bugs that are still there, all those kind of things indeed. So if you are going to play this as a casual, expect that there are going to be some bugs, there are going to be some frustrations, but please, please, please remember, this is not the final game. It's very much an early stage. So if you were jumping on for an hour or so and you just fancied a quick session, what's it going to be like? Is it anything like COD? Is it anything like any of the other shooters out there? Well, to be honest with you, I think the game kind of director is called Vince Zampella. Now, if you don't know who that is, which probably most of you don't, Vince Zampella was involved in some of the biggest shooters of the past, well, I'm going to say past 2 decades, beginning with kind of Medal of Honor Allied Assault on the PC. He was involved in the initial COD, certainly involved in Modern Warfare 1, the original Modern Warfare, which is Call of Duty 4. You still with me? He was also involved in Modern Warfare 2, the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Unfortunately, he didn't take part in the third one, but he was there kind of in spirit, I guess. He also was involved in Titanfall 2, and obviously Apex Legends, and obviously now he's a part of the Battlefield franchise, and he's been the lead very much on this from the beginning. So expect that visceral kind of heaviness of the weapons, and he's literally delivered that in spades, and obviously all the developers out there as well. So if you were jumping on for an hour session, are you going to get that adrenaline rush, that little quick kind of, you know, oh, I've had some really good time, I've got some kills, I've managed to upgrade things, I've managed to kind of get a few more notches and get some of those camos grinding that I wanted to do as well. So yes, it's going to give you that a little bit of an adrenaline rush, and it would be something you could literally quickly pick up and put down straight away. The games maybe last between, I'm going to say 15 and 20 minutes, depending on how many people you've got there. At the moment, there are some balancing issues, but I would say you could pick it up and just have a quick grind with it. Is the game easy to understand? Well, kind of yes. Certainly the settings, no. Now, if you're new to the Battlefield franchise and you've played others, CSGO or maybe Call of Duty or anything like that, normally it's a team-based game, and it is still a team-based game, but you have basically your own group. There are 4 people that you can join in the group. You have 4 classes that you can choose from, and that is from Assault, which kind of the frontline soldiers are very at the front of the battle, getting out there, getting stuck in. You have your support, which will be your medics, so you can revive your teammates as well. That's something different to kind of Call of Duty or anything like that, although Warzone does have it as well. You also have your engineers. Now, your engineers are good for repairing vehicles, blowing up vehicles, and generally having the heavier weapons on there as well. Maybe some SMGs also. Then you have your recon. Your recon is your snipers, basically. There are 2 different modes at the moment. I'll get into this a little bit further, but there is a closed mode and an open conquest mode. Now, these modes relate to the original Battlefield, which many of the fans wanted to keep. So the closed weapons, certain classes can only use certain weapons. For example, Assault can only use assault rifles. Engineers at the moment can only use SMGs. Your medics can only use kind of LMGs, the support class, I should say, and your recon obviously is just snipers. They're the only ones that currently use it. Now, they also have the open mode where you can use any weapons. Any classes can use any weapons. So there's a bit of a debate going on at the moment as to which way they want to go. And for me, for my money's worth, I think the open is okay, but I can completely understand. I'm very much on the fence here. I can completely understand the closed weapon stance as well. But hey, give it a go. See what you think about the conquest open or closed. Now, when it comes to what isn't very clear, it's the settings. At the moment, again, yes, it's a beta. Apparently the settings are the same as the content creators had in the recent reveal in LA. It's very confusing, very convoluted. There's lots of sub menus, but there is all of the details that you maybe would want from a game like this. The ability to kind of deeply dig down, change all your controller settings if you wish. I would say at the moment the controller settings are quite janky. They're not going to be there for the pick up and play, so you may have to muck around with those a little bit. If you want, I'll leave a link to the Tactical Brits guide on how to set up your controllers. He's a very good game player, content creator that I follow, and he gave some really good advice recently about setting up your controls. So what game modes are there? There are a few game modes, obviously, Conquest being the main original one that there will be. Conquest is basically you have different areas of the map that you have to control, so you have to run to those different areas, wait on that area for a few moments until it has filled up, and then once you've taken that, you move on to the next one. The idea of the game is to control as many of those points as possible. The more points you control, the more tickets, it's a number system that ticks down, you're going to reduce off the enemy team. When they reach 0, that means you've won. Congratulations. Another mode is Breakthrough. Breakthrough is basically you are on a it's almost like a linear route. And at the end of that linear route, you have a base that you have to take control. Very similar to Conquest, you have to stay on that base for an amount of time before it's taken over. Sometimes there'll just be the one, sometimes there'll be 2. If you take both of those or one of them in the zone, the next zone opens up, and so on and so forth. You have about 5 zones that you go through, and it's basically a pushing back and forth. If you don't take the zone, the enemy team will take it. If you've taken 2 zones but then lose the base again, you don't have to go take a step back. It just stays where it is, and you just continue on from there. So there are some other game modes available as well. King of the Hill and domination. This is more of your kind of team-based shooter kind of attacks, and I think they're trying to appeal to the Call of Duty kind of fan base as well. So these are very much visceral kind of pick up, play, get a few kills and leave. So you have got quite a few game modes there. There is going to be more game modes, obviously, once the game fully releases. You can check out those details on EA.com. But I'm going to keep silent on those for the time being until we see some more information. So how many maps do we have in the open beta? Well, as of this Thursday, the 14th of August, we're going to have, I think it's about 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be 3. We've got Siege of Cairo, Liberation Peak, and we've got a new one called Empire State. So that wasn't in last weekend. This is going to be a new one, and that's set in New York. That's going to be available for us this weekend. Now, you also do have variants of these. So the main conquest maps are kind of the larger versions of these maps. You also have the smaller maps, which is going to be the Breakthrough, King of the Hill, Domination as well. So many people keep on asking, how does it feel versus other kind of shooters? What is the Battlefield formula, and why is this one in particular gaining so much traction? Well, it recently broke the amount of players on Steam recently. May not mean much, but it certainly means something when it comes to Steam, and certainly for a first-person shooter other than Counter-Strike, which is absolute massive numbers at the moment, and versus Call of Duty as well. So it's very much based, not in reality, but it's still very much an arcadey game. It's along the vein of Call of Duty. It's very fast-paced. It's very visceral. It's very in your face. You have destructible environments now. You can revive your teammates. The idea is that push is the kind of adrenaline that you're kind of going to be getting playing this game. Getting that flag, or maybe creating some what's called a battlefield moment, where maybe a jet flies over your head that you've shot off an RPG and it's hit it and it's exploded. Next thing you know, there's a helicopter flying over your head with a tank coming along the side of you. You've got a whole squad of teams. You can kind of get the idea. It's very, very cinematic. It gives you that buzz, that feeling of really kind of progressing through the game as well, and that's what this game is giving you at the moment. I hope that's giving you some kind of scope as to what the game is and how it's going to feel and whether you want to pick it up. It is available on PlayStation 5, PC, and on Xbox as well as Game Pass, various other things. It is open. You don't need a code anymore, so you can literally just download it now if you wanted to and wait for Thursday, and you can dive straight in. Is it on PS4 or some of the older consoles? Unfortunately, no. They've now decided, which I think with good reason, it has been a few years since these so-called next generation games have been out. Games consoles, I should say, have been out. But they've decided to just go with the PS5 and the Xbox and the Xbox One X, I should say, and PC. So they're the only 3 formats on there, which I think is a good thing. So what did I think of it? Well, so far, I think it's an amazing game. I'm very much missing it at the moment. I'm really hoping that when it does come out, that it has that ability to kind of hold you. You may be wondering what's going to make me keep coming back to this game. Well, they are going to have very much camos, I would have thought. They're going to have different characters that you're going to be able to unlock. They're going to have a season pass, I would have thought. If that's your sort of thing, there is going to be dedicated content coming out. There's also various different game modes. There's going to be a campaign that you'll be able to play from start to finish, and I'm sure that will unlock some stuff. And there is talk, they have announced it, I should say, of a battle royale that they'll be doing again. They did have a battle royale in Battlefield 5. It was called Firestorm, and it was actually quite good. It was quite an interesting take. You had the ability to get tanks, but it took a really long while to kind of open up safe houses that had those tanks in, or bunkers, and everybody on the map knew that tank was going on, so everybody, it was their play to kind of destroy those tanks. So it was really good. It was interesting. We haven't really seen very much on that so far. There's also apparently various other modes, and there's going to be a whole kind of universe that's going to be tying in to all of this as well. So I'm extremely excited. I cannot wait for October the 10th to come around. Should you pre-order the game? Not yet. Not yet. They're being very open. They're not pushing the pre-orders. I think it's suffice to say, closer to when the game is going to be released, you're not going to miss out on anything. Pre-order it just then. But, you know, it's entirely up to you. Now, if you are a Call of Duty player, I am going to ask you a very big favor, that when you play this game, please PTFO, which basically means play the objective. You can revive people. You have to go for the objectives in order to win the game. You can go lone wolf if you wish, but it's much better if you start joining in the rest of your team. It's entirely up to you though, but it would be very nice if you could. Anyway, That's all from me. Thank you very much for listening to me waffling on. I hope you do decide to take part in the open beta this weekend. Remember, it's the 14th from about 9 o'clock in the morning in the UK. Other times you'll have to look them up because I can't off the top of my head know which one that is. But if you do join in, have fun. It's a really great game. I think it's something fresh, unique, but also has the same kind of look of the previous Battlefield games. I'll be there this Thursday. I'll also be streaming it all weekend again, like I did last weekend. God, I miss it already so far. If you did enjoy the video, thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you learned something. And if you really would like to see videos similar to this again, hit that subscribe, hit the like, and leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Have you played it already? Are you going to play it? Are you going to pre-order it? You're not going to pre-order it? What are your favorite weapons? What are your favorite maps? And what do you think of the game so far? Thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you next time here at Decay Gaming.